Wow, check out all those new icons.
I keep clicking on them, but the screen won't start.
Who's the guy with the nice beard?
Hey everyone, and welcome to Old World Tech Fridays.
Good evening.
How is everyone this evening?
Pretty good, pretty good. I mean,
so gassy. Oh, all that holiday food.
Beano before, and there'll be Beano after.
This is the last stream for the year.
Mhm.
Next, what is it? Next Tuesday is the last day of the year.
Yeah.
You mean I gotta hold it until next Friday?
Yeah.
That's right.
But the most important day of the year is happening on Friday of next week. The most
That's
important day of the year.
January 3rd, your
Correct.
birthday?
It is my birthday, yes.
That's
Oh,
right.
okay, yeah.
Thanks, guys,
Happy
for pretending like you knew it was my birthday.
Well, I didn't know. I figured with world events, it might have been something I missed.
No, it's 3 days until your apocalypse.
Well, Ryan will be the new president of South Korea next Friday.
Yes, I will be
Oh,
the
sweet.
president of South
It is.
Korea.
He's relocating to warmer
Yeah.
climates.
A Samsung in every pot. That was my my platform, and it seemed to work.
Very nice.
So how is everyone this evening?
Doing all right. Frank, you've been missing.
Absent without leave.
I have.
Like I went with my kids to the store, and they picked up a carton of milk, and there you were on the back of the
Well,
carton of milk.
I was at the place they make the cartons of milk.
I was gonna say, funnily enough, that's
That's
actually
where
where
I've
he was.
quite a bit recently. We had to get rid of some employees and hire 3 new employees in the past couple weeks. So it's been busy.
Wow.
It's been busy.
So,
No
if
doubt.
any of you live in upstate New York and are looking
That's
for
right.
good,
you're
gainful
looking for work,
employment,
Good God.
reach out to
Hard
Frodo.
to find people. Yeah, it's been hectic, especially with holidays and stuff too. But I had some electrical issues that had prevented me from using the shed. It kept tripping the brake. So backing up, I added a second wing onto the building, essentially. So I doubled the size.
The East Wing.
So instead of
Mhm.
14 by 20, it's now 28 by 20.
Olympic size
so-
swimming pool. It's
That's right.
amazing.
Yeah,
It's
it's lovely.
You know, I had the vaulted ceiling in the foyer out there for the Christmas tree. You know, I had a lot of big plans.
You,
Very
Frank,
nice.
now that you've built it, you can call it a foyer
That's
instead
right.
of a foyer.
That's right. But anyway, the walls are insulated, but the ceiling is not yet. So all of the heat was essentially just going straight up out the roof.
Yeah.
So that caused, with the heaters running on stuff out here, trying to run at full blast to even bring it to temp, it caused the main breaker to trip a few times, which made it weak and trip for anything. So I had to pull the meter socket and put a new breaker in and all that.
yeah. Plus,
So,
we are not paying to heat the out of doors.
That's right. Right. I can't contribute.
Your
to global
inner
warming.
dad should have just been vibrating like, oh my God,
So,
what are you doing?
So yeah, so we've got that all situated and everything now, and then next week I've got installation coming in, and then we'll get that all closed up. So hopefully, here in the next few weeks, we'll be in that side.
Very
Nice.
nice.
So it's coming along, but with that, holidays and work and stuff, it's been crazy busy.
Mhm.
Very, 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 very busy. few
Well, we're
weeks.
happy to see you, Frank. It's been a
here.
bit of a time. I mean, it's been what, 3 weeks since we've last seen you?
Yeah.
Probably because that and
You're-
the dental. I
Right,
I
yes.
had run in the house and grabbed some ibuprofen. I have a root canal scheduled for the 6th.
Ugh.
That was the soonest they can get me in. Is the 6th.
Happy
so-
birthday for you, or happy the 6th for you.
Yeah, I know, right? So yeah, but yeah, it's great to see everyone. Great to hear everyone.
Indeed.
That's something I've never experienced.
You can consider
What,
yourself
January
lucky. I've had
6th
a few.
or root canal?
A root canal.
Yep.
Or fillings.
Wow.
Wow,
I
that's pretty
too
good.
have
That's
been
really
very
good.
lucky. I have actually I'm 50 adjacent. I have never had a cavity. I've never had
That's
anything.
awesome.
Actually, the
For you.
one and only thing I ever had is I bit down on something and it like made a little crack along the top of a tooth
Yep.
and it hurt and it hurt and it hurt. And
Who
it was
was it?
over. This was like 2 years ago,
Mhm.
maybe 3. 2 years ago,
Yeah.
over Christmas, so you couldn't get in it anywhere. So I just like it ruined my entire Christmas break.
Oh, it sucks.
I just saw an article yesterday where a pro football player, I think it was, died, and they did an autopsy, and here it was because of his cavities and his poor oral hygiene.
Yeah.
He ended up getting bacteria into his brain. And
Yeah.
it caused
The
him
mouth
to
is
die.
the mouth is the highway to the brain.
Yes.
My wife was
so
a dental assistant for years, and
you got to take it seriously, especially.
So-
I mean, dental issues can cause other health conditions too, like heart disease. It can cause all kinds
Yep.
of issues. So yeah, it's important to stay on top of
And there apparently is
oral hygiene.
a potential link between diseases like Alzheimer's and dementia.
Yes.
And,
Yep.
Vitis and plaque buildup. So
yep.
And then there's a lot of new science out there. Well, I don't know that it's necessarily science, but I've seen a lot of doctors that are against root canals now.
Yeah.
Dentists that are against root canals because they're saying that obviously when they pull the root and the nerves out of your tooth is dead, and your body's not meant to have dead stuff just in there. So they're saying that there's some, they're seeing correlations between people who have root canals and people who die early or have heart problems early and stuff. So
Because it's
I don't know.
way in.
Yeah.
There's not enough science there yet as far as the research on it, but they at least have some ideas, and they're thinking. And there's a lot more into biomimetic dentistry now, where essentially they're filling your teeth with teeth.
Yes.
You know, like they grind up the part of your teeth that's bad, and they use that for the filling and stuff.
Yeah.
Versus like amalgam or whatever else type of
Yeah.
thing.
lead, bit of
Yeah.
gold,
Well, I've
Depleted
got some-
uranium.
I've got a few that have silver in the very
depleted
back,
uranium.
that
Ground
It's
up
good enough.
prostitutes. Yeah.
If it's
Amalgam,
good enough,
you
if
know.
it's good enough for a tank shell, it's good enough
Yep.
for my teeth.
Yeah.
Well, that's like I had a tooth pulled. Was it last year? I think it was in the back. Maybe it was early this year. I don't remember now. But they did a bone graft when they did
It
it.
affects your
They're
memory,
gonna
too.
They're gonna
Yeah.
put a pin in a fake tooth, I guess.
Yeah.
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 I saw an article that they're pretty close to testing tooth budding. or
Yeah,
teeth
that's what
budding.
Javier just said. He read an
Yeah.
article that they're regrowing teeth in China.
Growing teeth. Yes.
Well, that's like, did you know that as an adult, if you lose one of your teeth, like a teeth that it comes out, they clean it and they put it back, and within 3 weeks you can chew normally, and it's already reattached and all that. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
That's cool.
It's interesting. The
I
way
do
the
have one
body
crown.
works.
I
One
tried
crown.
to shear a tooth off like Ron.
Yep.
Yep.
So
I
they
did
had
the
to put a
same.
crown on, but it was just far enough away from the center that it didn't require canal or anything.
What do they call that? The dentin? Was that the middle?
Yeah,
part?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Dentin?
Tooth
Pulp.
stuff.
The pulp of the
Yeah, where
tooth.
the pulp and stuff is.
Yeah.
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 But I
Um,
guess that you can have a cavity to where it's gone for so long that it finally makes its way to a nerve, and then you'll finally feel pain at that point where you previously don't feel anything until it finds its way to the nerve, which can
Yep.
take some time.
You heard it here first, folks. Hot Ron ass action.
Oh,
That's
sorry.
right.
That's right. Hot Ron ass action.
How
Can't
much-
get that
how much
anywhere
crack
else but
was
here
showing?
on Friday night.
How much crack was showing? Hopefully not.
Only the purest amount of crack was
Okay.
shown.
So who do we got in the chat? Speaking of chat, we've
Yeah,
talked
we
about
see
a
who we
few
got there.
here already.
Looks like we've got CDI, of course, is the first as always.
Yes,
Dave's
Sloper.
Vintage Apple Tech. Hey, Dave. Hope you're feeling better. I think you were a bit under the weather.
Mhm.
Then we have Gut Bomb of Gut Bomb fame.
Yay.
If you guys haven't, I'm just going to take a second here to plug Gut Bomb. I know that sounds weird, but I'm going to plug Gut Bomb.
Listen,
If you haven't
he's
watched
not a
Gut-
healthcare CEO. Come on.
but he could be, or he plays one on television. If you haven't watched Gut Bomb's latest video, if you haven't watched any of Gut Bomb's video, but if you haven't watched his latest video,
Where have you
I highly
been if you
recommend-
haven't watched them?
Well, yes. First off, where have you been? Under a rock? I highly recommend that you watch his content. I thoroughly enjoy it. And I think the production value and the quality of the actual production is, and he doesn't. I don't think he gives himself enough credit, but it's fantastic. It's probably it's up there with some of the bigger YouTube channels when it comes to quality and actual production value.
In terms
so-
of raw stock footage,
Yeah.
it's aces.
If you like AI and some random AI voice yelling at you, then this is not the video from you. definitely recommend Gut Bomb's latest video and some of his back catalog.
It's pretty great.
Highly recommend. Anyway, maybe we'll share the link in the chat at some point. Then we have MMMU Man, followed by ourselves. World Tech Fridays is there. Rudy from Rudy's Retro Intel. Hey, Rudy. Thomas Armstrong. Jeremy from Vintage Hillbilly Shack. Hey, Jeremy. Who else we got? I think that's it. We got Javier of 8-Bit Tees and 8bitstuff.com. If you like hilarious 8-bit t-shirts or want some cool stuff for your Apple or Amiga products, highly recommend you head over to Javier's website, 8bitstuff.com. And I think that is it for the people in the chat. There you go.
Well, we appreciate you all joining us this fine evening.
And if you get a chance, you want to reach underneath that like button and just give it the littlest of a tickle. That'd be fantastic. We appreciate that greatly. Thank you.
So how was y'all's Christmas? Did everybody have a joyous holiday?
It was good.
It was good.
It was okay.
I took time off this year. I usually don't.
Oh, that's awesome.
Cover for my employees. This time I said, screw you. I'm taking the time off.
That's right. Use it or lose it.
I have a senior BA business analyst who's really, really good. She ought to have my job, honestly. So she wasn't taking the time off, so she covered for me, and it was
awesome.
nice.
So you took off like a couple of days, the whole week?
I took off from my last day was the Friday before Christmas, and I'm still off.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm going back on the 3rd.
Okay, cool.
That Thursday.
Very nice.
Awesome.
Friday. Third. Friday.
2nd. Yeah, going back to 2nd. Sorry.
Final offer.
Cool.
Final offer. Yeah. Oh, my wife was like, "You didn't take the 2 other days off?" I said, "You like to camp in the summer. I can't do it." So.
I'm not heading back until the 6th. Is our first day back, so we're back on
Nice.
the 6th.
Nice.
What about you, Ron? You got time off this Christmas, or
I've been off for a while. We had a go live at work right before we decided to go on break, and it was the only way to schedule it. So we scheduled the go live, we got it to go live, and then we all immediately left. So
So if it fails, you can take care of it in the next year.
Actually,
that sounds like future.
I've been monitoring it. I connect remotely every so often, and I'm like making sure that processes are running, and I'm like, yeah, this looks great. Cool. It appears to not be down or anything like that, so that's really great. So we'll just keep monitoring it. But I've been off for a little bit, and it's pretty great. And I go back on January 2nd.
That's awesome.
Even though the rest of my family will not be going back until the following Monday, so I'll have to see what that means for everybody else's schedule.
Yep.
But here we are.
Cool.
So I went in Monday and had the rest of the week off, and then I'll go in this Monday, and then I'll have the rest of the week off.
Nice.
Yep.
It's good to be the boss.
Yeah, I do have to go into the office actually Monday for an hour because I have a contractor who insisted on making the 30th his last day.
Of course.
So.
Okay.
Very good. Yeah, I'm in the process too. The company that my company was bought out by another company. I'm going to go back in time here now in 2012. I want to say 2012, 2011.
That oop.
Yeah. My company was bought out by another company. That company then is a consulting firm that I worked for and was part owner and part, brain of, I guess. Anyway, that particular company now is going only into consulting. They're getting out of IT stuff, so I'm taking back all of my IT clients.
Nice.
So that happened obviously over Christmas break because that's the easiest time to unload and reload. So I've been sort of doing some of that while I'm off. It's been fairly painless because most clients don't really care. Some cared and we're like, oh my God, what's happening? And the other ones are like, okay, so just send us the new billing information.
Yeah.
Perfect.
They just let us know.
Yeah. All right. Some, you all have those people that you work with that need hand holding versus those who just don't care.
Yeah.
All right. As long as stuff gets fixed and stuff gets done on time. So That's what I've been doing this week. It's also the time of the year when all the financial software gets updated.
Nice.
So I've been doing a lot of financial software updates. I like to do them on I like to do them on New Year's Day. That's always fun.
Yes.
So that when they break, it's like, well, they're broken. I have no access to them because they're in a building that's locked. And this doesn't seem to be an issue until the second or third. So,
Hey, Joe.
hey, Joe's here.
I like it. That's a real Ned Flanders way about going about it. That's
Yeah.
the classic where it's like 12:01 a.m. on January 1st. Well, better start on those taxes.
I'm not gonna get them taxes done.
Oh no! Hope
And
you
wasn't
feel
there
better,
one
Joe.
year where he didn't get it in, or it was like just getting it in under the wire?
Oh no.
Or was that Homer? And then Homer put like a handful of candy in it,
Yeah.
like duct taped it up.
Right.
I used to work insurance industry, and the end of the year used to be the worst time of the year because of the way things happen. And
Yeah.
and I'm like, I'm just here for IT. I don't do, insurance stuff. And they're like, yeah, well, it's all hands.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, fine, whatever.
I went ahead and approved all those deductions.
Yeah.
I gave them all the writers for free.
Yeah, I just told them-
imaginary children still qualify for
Yes.
tax break, right?
I just told them all that they didn't have to pay their deductibles. Was that wrong? Did I do wrong?
So no, I just basically was there in case somebody's workstation blew up and the other 3 people that handled hardware were there. I was a software developer. So
Basically, we're getting paid to be there for no reason.
basically, yeah.
Smile and nod, Eric. Smile and nod.
Wonderful.
Cool. So, what was everyone doing this over Christmas break? Were there any projects you were working on? Did you
Oh
get
my
to any
God.
retro tech?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe we'll go around and talk about some of the stuff that we've got. Frank,
Yeah.
you want to start?
Let's see. I got.
I
Quite
know
a
Frank
few
got a few things in the mail.
That's
Mhm.
right. So one of the things I got was I picked up another SE30.
Sweet.
It's in really good shape. Board's in super good shape too. I want to get it recapped, but otherwise it's in really good condition as
It
well.
looks fully populated with RAM.
It is. It is. And I got it for less than $100. I got it for $89.
Nice.
Yeah, I saw a
Yeah.
guy posted on Macintosh, one of the vintage Macintosh groups today. He's like, I picked this up today for like $400, and it was just like it was a classic, I think, but it came with all the bits and bobs with it.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, "Oh, that's a great deal. That's a fantastic deal. Good job. Oh, you got the box." Well, I'm like, am I the only one who thinks this is a terrible deal?
I thought it was a terrible deal.
Got a couple. Hang on, I'm trying to disconnect it here.
It's like there's a
Oh,
guy here
the other
locally
one.
trying to sell a classic and an SE30, and he wants $1,000 for the SE30.
Well,
He
I
can
got-
want all he wants.
Two
yeah. Well, the
Atari,
wife said to sell it. So.
two Atari ST Mega 4s.
Oh,
Nice.
nice.
Both came with keyboards and mice. I got one on eBay and one on Macari.
Nice.
I've had pretty good luck with Macari this year.
You do seem to be the king of Macari. We should get you a hat.
Well, the only thing, honest to God, the only thing I bought from Macari this year that didn't come okay, which I already figured would be a crapshoot when I ordered it, was the 840 AV,
Right.
Yeah.
which I already knew because there was no pictures of the inside. I was like, yep, it's going to be a turd, but the case looked great. So worst case scenario, it's going to look nice sitting on the shelf like Ron says.
Yeah,
And,
it'll look beautiful. It'll look just
yeah.
like mine on the shelf over there.
Well, when I opened it and like all these parts just like kind of fell out, and I'm like, yep,
Yeah.
crystal oscillator's not supposed to be off the board.
That's
I was
not
like, yeah,
Bluetooth.
it's
Well,
not.
hold on. It was
It's
that was
dead.
the problem. It was the
oscillated right off.
crystal oscillator.
Awfully.
Yes.
Yeah. Common mistake.
I did order a drive, and it came in from the UK for the Ataris. It is a allows you to, which they already put some stuff on the card for me, which was awesome of them. I think it's from Retro Kits UK or something, Retro or something UK. I've ordered from them before. They're very nice people. But it is a SD card drive, like a drive emulator for
Yeah.
the Atari.
Oh, cool.
So it lets you, run programs and stuff off the SD cards,
Nice.
kind of like the Ultrasane does for the Atari.
Yeah.
So I got that. Let's see what else. I picked up a few Amigas, but those are also going out to people. I don't know. Got a few different things. I got another Amiga accelerator that I got for Christmas. So I got that for one of my 1200s because I stole the one out of the normal 1200 for the 1200 tower that I have.
Right.
So I had to get another one for the desktop, the normal.
Well, you didn't
1200.
have to, but
Well, my mother-in-law is really good about Christmas gifts, where she just asks me what I want, so I just send a link, and so she got me the accelerator, the replacement one I needed for my other Amiga 1200. So real appreciative of that because
Super cool.
I needed a new one to put into that other machine.
that's awesome.
So I got that as one of my Christmas gifts. And another thing she picked up for me is going to go in the addition is this neon gaming sign
Ooh,
that goes on the wall. So
Oh,
I like
love
that.
it.
Really cool.
Love it.
It's really neat. So I got that to put on the wall on the new side. That's one of my Christmas gifts I got.
So you're speaking about this new side. Why don't you tell everybody what it is you're doing?
So the new side originally I doubled the size of the shed out here. So the shed is 14 by 20. And
so first off, I'll go tell everybody, people who have seen the movie Contact, you know, they spend $1 billion or $1 trillion on building the first one.
yeah.
Of course, they built two. So Frank works mostly the same way.
Right. Why
Yeah.
build one
When you can
when you
build
can
two.
build two for twice the
Two's
price?
obviously better.
Right.
So I doubled the size of the shed by adding another 14 by 20. So now the whole shed is 28 by 20. And everything's closed in, and the walls are insulated, and the roof is covered, and it's got metal roofing on everything and stuff. But obviously, it's not keeping the heat in on that side. So I've got to pick up the insulation for the roof, and I decided to do tongue and groove pine.
Nice.
On the ceiling and the walls on that side, and then I'm doing laminate flooring in there, and then I ordered new furniture from IKEA for over there, which it came already the week before Christmas.
Now, Frank, the big question is how much RGB is there going to be? Because you can't be a true streamer unless there's a lot of RGB.
So much RGB, man! Like everything, the chair, the desk, like everything's going to be RGB.
In fact, I am going to be RGB now.
It's how Bluetooth was 5 years ago. You know,
Yeah,
everything's got to have Bluetooth. Everything's better with Bluetooth.
Yeah.
But instead of originally my thought was I'm going to put shelving and stuff over there for storage, and then get rid of a lot of this mess that's over here. But then I thought about it and I was like, well, why the hell am I going to move the mess over there when I could just start over there?
Right.
So I ordered new furniture from IKEA. I ordered a nice desk. I ordered nice bookshelves with the glass doors and stuff to display things over there. So really, it's going to be a lot nicer looking over on that side. And I'm going to stream Bluetooth COVID test. I'm going to
wait till you see the
stream
RGB ones. That's all I can say.
Well, you could use lights. You put lights down into people's bodies. It knocks out the COVID. Yeah,
That's right.
And you just show that scene from oh god, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Total Recall, where they pull the glowing orb out of his nose.
Cracker. Yeah. I was just telling somebody about that stupid scene where they're on the surface of Mars, and like Ronnie Cox's eyeballs are literally like they're on stalks and they're coming out.
Yeah, he looks like so
Wile
E. Coyote saw an attractive woman, right? It's like,
So yeah, I got some nicer stuff for over there, and that's the plan is to make that nicer space for streaming, and then just keep all the project stuff and things over here on this side, where it's going to be a mess anyway.
Nice.
And the question is, of course, like all projects that anybody undertakes, when can we expect it to be finished?
Well, next week I'm picking up the insulation and the wood to do the thing, the ceiling, because I'm going to close that up first, and that'll drastically cut down on the amount of
2 weeks
going out.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah. Well, it'll probably be at least 2 or 3 weeks because
we'll be home by Christmas.
I've been doing it myself, and my father-in-law's been coming down and helping me, and then Jess doesn't like to help. I'm not good to work with on projects like this.
So sometime between tomorrow and the heat death of the universe.
Yeah,
That's
Got
right.
it.
5 billion
Well,
years.
air conditioning will be coming out again in June, so we'll be good by then.
Perfect.
June of what
so-
year?
Yeah, exactly.
2027.
But
Um,
it's not going to take too long. I mean, I would say the worst part's going to be assembling all that IKEA furniture.
That is
Yeah.
going to be
The
the worst part.
bookshelves, the desk, the entertainment center thing.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that's going to be the worst part.
Now the other big question is: did you get any of the octagon or whatever their shaped things for your walls for sound deadening, like all
No,
YouTube
I
streamers
haven't
have?
yet because I wasn't sure. I hadn't settled on a wall.
Okay,
At
because
that
you need
point.
an accent wall.
Well, so originally what I wanted to do was, I forget what they call it. It's kind of like wainscoting. It's not wainscoting, but it's the modern equivalent of wainscoting, where it's got the stripes on the wood, the white wood.
Yeah. Wayne's
I was going to do that on the walls.
Wayne's
but
World
then
coating. Yeah.
I want something that's going to be more durable, so I decided to do the tongue and groove pine.
Did you say more durable?
Yes.
More
So
adorable.
it's
More
made of the
door.
No,
made of the
more
essence
durable.
of Mount Doom.
Exactly, more durable.
More
But I
door.
wanted something that was going to hold up.
Right.
So I wanted
As opposed to
something
Hodor.
Yeah, hold on.
exactly. Yeah, not the same.
adorable.
So I got to get the ceiling and the walls done, and then I want to get the laminate flooring down, and then I'm going to put all the trim up. And then I still don't know if I'm just going to leave the wood the way it is, or seal it, or paint it, or whatever. I don't like to paint wood.
Right. I'd leave it naked myself.
But I was going to say, I think I'm just going to leave it, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to save
The
me
big thing
a
you're
lot
going to
of
have
time.
is, and you don't really have the issue there now, is the echo. But
Yeah.
depending on how
Yeah.
much stuff you have in the room, you might need to, put in a bit of fabric or something that's.
Well,
to
with the
soften the
laminate
echo.
flooring, I am going to put like an aerial rug in there for sure.
Yeah, that'll help for sure.
That's going to help, but I will put something on the wall, some type of.
What you
like,
need is
accent thing.
tapestries. You need to get some tapestries.
I saw somebody did a really nice.
We're here
Oh,
to see the tapestries.
nice. So yeah, I'll find something. I mean, I have a lot of stuff to put up, like and even with the nice glass bookshelves, like a lot of this stuff's going to go over there, like the boxed software, OS software is going to go on the shelves.
I like Joe's question,
Shit's gonna go over there.
Frank.
What's that?
Aerial rug, like from Aladdin.
Well, it's kind of a mix between the Little Mermaid and Aladdin.
I was gonna say, yeah, wouldn't that be an aerial rug?
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. A Roman tapestry, yes. I hear the Vatican had opened a few wings this past week, so they've got some tapestries to spare right now.
Well, I mean, Paul McCartney was
So.
coming by, so yeah.
Had to air it out. You don't want
Had
the
to air it
smell of
out.
old beetle around, right?
So yeah, I have some ideas what I want to do, and then of course, now that I want to put the laminate flooring and stuff in there, I want to pull all this flooring out in the summer and put new laminate flooring in here too, so it matches.
So, what are your plans
then
for
do the
the
ceiling.
third building?
Yeah.
Well,
right.
we're still working on the addition of the house, so like I've got to get that done. Like that's
Because there is a
really
basement in the house,
biggest
correct? Didn't we talk about
Yeah,
painting
yeah,
the floor and
Because really, I mean, once the basement of the house is done, I'm moving all this to the basement. This is just going to be storage later.
Wow.
Because my streaming and stuff is going to be actually in the basement of the new house.
As it should be.
Yes,
Right,
because I
like
don't want to
Ron?
have to walk outside and all that other stuff. I just want to be able to just go downstairs.
So now
and
the big
grab
thing
that.
though is if you're going to put it in the basement, I've come to realize I'm in the basement right now,
Yeah.
and my streaming doesn't work very well, and I know why, because I don't have fake wood paneling.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
right.
just telling you, it
You
Yeah.
need fake wood paneling.
Yep.
ties it all
Yeah.
together.
All the good
I got
streamers
some,
have it.
Yeah, like think about
Joe's got
Joe.
fake wood paneling. Yep.
Well, Joe and
Ron.
Ron share a wall, right? Like
Yes.
Joe is
That's
just
true.
on the other side
Yep.
of that wall.
Right. It's
Yep.
true. It's true.
But who else streams from their basement? Hang on. So Eric does.
Eric does.
Ron,
Yeah, I do, of course.
Ryan,
I do. yeah.
Joe, Sloopy.
Now I will say I do stream from the garage occasionally, and that does have
That's
fake
true.
wood paneling,
That's true.
and it works way better. So there you go.
Oh, yeah, got bombs on the second floor, but he does have the fake wood paneling. So yeah.
I think it doesn't matter the basement part. It's more so the fake wood paneling.
Yeah.
So what's nice about the way that we designed the addition is all the infrastructure's on this side of the house, the existing part.
Okay.
So like I don't have to worry about the hot water tank or the furnace or anything taking up space in the basement on this side because
Right.
it lives on the other side.
Right.
So I'm not gonna have any of that. So the only thing
Nice.
that's gonna eat up space is the staircase.
No, it's not. It's not going to be the staircase. It's going to be everything you own.
Well, it's gonna be all my stuff, of course. Yeah, obviously. But I meant like as far as like utilities, like other crap. Like
Also,
the staircase
I'm
is
going to
something
send
I can't help.
I'm going to send out an SOS. My tech room is way too full. Look at
Oh
this.
yeah.
Look at this. I barely have
that's
enough room to get in
You
here.
just need to start shipping that stuff.
I do.
That's right.
I do need to start shipping that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, just buy a barge or a rope
It-
boat of some sort, and then we'll...
We skipped
Well,
the most
don't we have a guy in
famous
our
basement
community
of all
who has a
you
brother
guys.
that works in the shipping industry? Maybe I can just get a pod or
Oh,
something.
that's
from him.
true. Yeah, I would say yeah. You can definitely.
Speaking
go
of
that
which,
route.
we're almost coming up on the 1 year anniversary of that.
That's
We should do like a 1 year roundup.
that's
Like,
right. Nothing's
Well,
changed.
Well, here's what's
Still
changed.
douchebag.
He has been messaging people in that area of the world,
Yep.
like talking about making a comeback or something. And it's like, and I think that everyone he has talked to has flatly said that
fly
no,
the fuck.
Has
no,
the
No,
no,
museum ever
no,
opened?
thank
I
you.
stopped looking.
Yeah.
I don't know if has the museum ever opened.
And that's what I told people. I was like, it's one of those things. He's taken advantage of a lot of people. He's flat out stole money from people and misrepresented himself and his situation and things like that to multiple people. So my advice was anybody that wants to give him a second chance, you should just start asking him about the promises that he's made.
Mhm.
And if it's a deflection, then that means that he's not ready.
Yeah.
If he's like, these are the concrete things that I am doing to rectify the situation for the dozens, if not hundreds of people that have been affected by his actions, then you know that he just needs more time to figure it out. And I mean, I never tell people that it's like, you can't be friends with somebody. If you want to be friends with me, you'll know what you want to do, and that's fine. But it would take like a major show, a major like leaf turning. So
Agreed.
Anyway,
Yeah.
That's neither here nor there, but yeah, it is coming up on the 1 year anniversary of we'll call it Retrogate. The ousting of our friendly neighborhood retro scam artist. If you want to find out more, you can go to what is it? DW
don't mess with retro.com.
mess with
Something like that.
retro.com. I think. No. Don't mess with retro.com. Yeah, don't mess with retro.com. All one word. You can head over there and read the story if you're not familiar with it.
It's good advice.
Yeah, it is also. It does also have that not safe for work. Also, other domain if you want to go that route as well. But I was told that unfortunately that I'm not allowed to say that word, although I just did say it. So who knows? YouTube doesn't like it. Anyway, as Joe says, a major jail sentence. Yes, Joe. Everybody wants their pound of flesh. Yeah. So moving on. Is that everything you want to discuss there, Frank? When it comes to what you've got this week?
I think that's all I've got this week.
How's the FujiNet stuff coming along? Have we made any progress?
No. So with me being busy and absent the last few weeks, I just have to drop them in the mail to Gut Bomb and Sloopy to put. So I screwed up when I had ordered these, being this was the first time I had ordered something in such a large batch. I didn't know what I was doing, and I should have reached out to somebody like Ron who orders this shit all the time, because then it would have saved me like a ton of headache. So what I did was I ordered all the boards and I ordered all the components. But what I didn't realize is that when you order all the components on JCL PCB, they don't ship them to you. They just keep them. Because I kept getting emails like, "Oh yeah, such and such has arrived in the warehouse." I was like, "Sweet, great." So I assumed that they would just send all the stuff, I guess, when it was all collected. Nope. Never heard anything, so I checked and I was like, okay, it shows it's all in stock. What's the deal? No, it's for you to order boards
Yes.
And then they'll
You're stocking your parts,
order.
and then you tell them what to do
Yes.
with your parts.
Yeah.
Exactly. So what I did was I ordered 1,100 boards, and they're all sitting here. And I ordered
parts are
all
in
the
China.
parts, and guess what? They don't connect. So, but then further looking at some of the boards, there's a couple stuff on here that is like BGA. Like that might be because of how
Yeah.
small this is too. Like
Right.
it might be a pain in the ass to try to
Oh no,
assemble.
yeah. If it's BGA, no.
Yeah, there's a couple like that are really tiny. So I'm
Yeah.
like, eh. So what I did was I just ordered new boards that are fully assembled minus the ESP. And then so yeah, so the only thing that has to be soldered on is the ESP itself.
Perfect.
So this is what the
What is that?
actual
An
board
ESP like
looks like when
32,
it's
like
done.
a just a
So
chip?
from JCL PCB, like everything is pre-assembled, buttons, the connectors, everything, all the surface mount, everything, SD card slot. So everything's pre-assembled. So the only thing you have to solder on is the SP32 and program it. That's it.
Cool.
And throw the case on. But yeah, so this is going to be a lot faster for Slooping Cut Bomb. They'll literally just put on the ESP32, program it, and throw it in the case.
Perfect.
And that's it.
And they'll
So
be
it's gonna
available
make it go
where
faster.
exactly when it's done?
What's that?
Where will they be available when they're done?
Oh,
for purchase?
jcm-1.com. So
Fine.
they're going to be for
Sure.
sale on there, but it's taken me a while because I screwed up when I ordered them and I didn't realize that like they don't actually ship you the parts like DigiKey or Mauser, like they just kept them. So I kept waiting. I'm like, okay, where's my parts? And yeah, that's not how it works. So yeah, so I figured it would be easier after Gutbomb and I were talking about it, and then looking at some of the stuff you have to solder on. I was like, it's just easier if I just have them go ahead and assemble most of it, and then we just have to throw the SP on in the case.
Cool.
So yeah.
That's exciting.
So yeah. So those are going
Frank,
out.
You should totally fire one of those into my my package.
Well, I can just throw this one in because this is the one I have fully assembled. So.
Oh, it's already there. Everything's soldered.
Yeah, this one's done. Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, because the only thing you had to solder on is the SP32.
Oh, you already got it there. Yeah, so.
Yeah, so I already had it here. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
That's
just
all.
grind up the 1,100 boards and turn them into insulation for the other half of my shed. Yeah, that
There
would
you go.
actually work. Why not?
That'll do it.
Or
a
sprinkle
lot
it
of
on
key-
people you don't
key
like,
tags for
so they
people.
get itchy.
So yeah, we'll sell them as keychains. Like here, they're free with your order. Here's a keychain.
Guaranteed, Frank.
Yeah.
If by
You can
next
use
year,
those as, can lid openers.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you could probably
Yeah.
use it as a bottle opener.
Yeah.
one-time use bottle
Yeah,
openers.
why not?
I was going to say, by the time if you really can't get rid of them, and you're not going to VCF Midwest next year, send them to me or send them to somebody in the
pass them
US
out.
who's going, and we'll just put them on the
Free
table and we'll
PCBs,
pass them out.
Yeah, so like some of these parts, like if you actually look at the board, some of these parts are like super tiny.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And they have
Some assembly required.
a lot of little solder pads on there. So I'm like,
Mhm.
that's probably too much room for error when building them.
100%.
So
Cool.
yeah. So but yeah, those are there. But that's what I was gonna tell you. I forgot. So I ordered I was telling you guys before we started this stream, I ordered another desolder gun.
Ah, yes.
So this one's it's a WEP
Not a WAP.
948D3. Not a WAP, it's a WEP. So yeah, it comes with a soldering iron and a desoldering gun.
Nice.
Nice.
Chris Edwards Restorations does a lot of Amiga content on YouTube. He uses this setup and had recommended it, so I figured I would snag one on Amazon to try it out.
And how much was it?
About $100.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have a link? Maybe we can put a link in the
yeah.
the chat for people who
Yeah,
may
I'll
be
look it
interested
up.
in purchasing it. And if we had an Amazon affiliate, we would put it down in the thing, but we
I
don't.
do not.
So
I
here we
don't
go.
have an affiliate link. No.
All right. So moving on, I guess, and while Frank finds that link, Eric, do you have any new retro
Yeah.
gots?
Well, I had a Christmas list,
Okay.
and so one of my family members got me this A2 DVI from Joe
Ooh.
Computer Museum.
Oh, that's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'll be
And that
going
does
in
exactly
the,
what?
Sorry,
And that does
Lots
what?
of
Sorry.
new things.
I can't. I'm sorry. I
Sorry.
couldn't
What
hear.
does it do? What is it?
Oh, it goes in. It does HDMI output for Apple IIs.
Don't you mean it does DVI output?
Oh yes, it's DVI compatible with sort of HDMI without being HDMI.
Yeah.
Digital, whatever. Also,
Quiet
I
Joe.
didn't realize. I thought it was a Christmas present that somebody had ordered for me. It was really a Christmas present from Joe.
Oh,
It's the
yay!
the case. One of his first attempts at printing
Oh, nice.
the new case, and
Nice.
Oh,
this is
that's
the one that
awesome.
it's got the bad delaminated
Line through it.
ridge throughout
Yep.
the entire thing. So
Cool.
I'm gonna Bondo it and prime it
Did
and
he-
everything and paint
That's still
it
pretty awesome.
piano black.
That's great.
Nice.
So and
I
then
love
I
it.
got Ron and I did a little horse trading. So
And I don't think I sent you everything that I was supposed to send you, but
well, I don't know.
I don't remember.
You
Now, what
sent
kind
me
of horses did you get, Ron?
you
Huh?
sent me the
Oh, yeah.
whatever you call this now.
Yeah,
The
the
Pico?
Mac Pico vid.
Yeah, the Mac Pico vid. I bought a ATX, what are they? Mini ATX, Pico ATX.
Yeah, Pico
Power
ATX
supply.
power supply. Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I've already got an external power supply, so
Mhm.
I don't know what else would I need.
Nothing.
Got
A
an
computer
SE.
to put it in.
Yeah.
I did buy a switch because this power supply didn't come with an independent switch, so those will be here tomorrow.
Awesome.
Yeah, so that'll be going together because I've got somewhere around here. Anyway, back on this shelf, I've got a spare SE.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, here it is.
So the plan is to put that in the case.
Yeah,
like,
so
so
this will
assemble
go
the
in
whole thing.
the mini Mac thing.
And also a shout out to Gutbomb for designing that case.
Yeah.
Not only is he fantastic at the descriptive videos that he does, he's also pretty good whiz at the old SolidWorks for designing 3D stuff.
Yes, he is a 3D design master.
Indeed.
So, whereas I'm a 3D design wannabe.
I'm a
'Cause I
2D
haven't
design
spent time
master.
on it. I also got some other sundry stuff, and then the other thing in my time off, most of what I've been spending my time on.
Oh, sorry, Onshape. Sorry, not SolidWorks. I apologize.
Yeah. Give me a second to switch.
I think Eric has frozen himself.
Yeah, no, I mean, where is it? Here we go.
Katrina's asleep.
Yeah, Trina's asleep. I really should move that. Anyway, I've been playing around with concepts for the next adventure game because I've been working on the text adventure game for 2+ years and going a little crazy debugging it, so I need to take breaks. So I've got this thing that I've thrown together, and it actually I'm deviating from my normal rules. I'm making it bigger than classic Mac size screen.
Okay.
So, but anyway, it's a
How big?
isometric design thing.
640 by 400.
Yeah, this one's 640 by 480.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say because most power books have 640 by 400.
Yeah, it's the next level up from it, but I can fiddle around with it.
resolution. Got
But anyway, it does this.
Ooh.
I know. Isomorphic.
There's a bunch of isometric tiles, and I'm working on the next version of Adventure will be a dungeon crawl
Cool.
that's graphical. So
So what are you going to call it? You're going to call it like Uncomfortable Bastion?
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Creepy Castle? Sorry.
So-
Yeah. Right.
I'll see myself out.
Yeah.
I knew where you were going.
Anyway.
Cool. Well, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so Adventure is on on the track or on the right track to be released beta for the
Yes.
March
So the
era?
Marcintosh is when the beta will be done, and
Okay.
I'll pass off completed manuals and for both the editor and the game, and that will, with the game packaged up, not in a box or anything, just electronically,
Yeah.
to beta testers. I've got a
Cool.
few people that are interested in testing it.
Yes.
Nice.
With a test scenario. Yeah, switch screens back, Eric.
You're
Anyway,
gonna see Sleepy Trina. Here comes Sleepy Trina. Oh no,
Yeah.
there's just Eric.
but so there'll be a few, some testing and stuff, and then the idea is to have box sets ready for sale at VCF Midwest in
Nice.
September.
Sweet.
Very exciting. And I believe we have official countdown. It's 252 days, I think, give or take.
Give or take, 2 weeks, depending on when they actually fall.
Yeah,
on
when
the
they
date.
actually, because I don't know when they're going to announce it. I feel like it's going to be very much like last year. It was quite late, but hopefully this year, where they're probably going to use the same.
Yes, I'm hoping for the
space.
same venue because
Yeah,
it was
venue,
a really
thank
nice.
It was lovely.
Yeah,
place.
it was.
It was the hotel was expensive, but you know what? It was quite nice.
Yeah,
It wasn't
if-
that much more
Mhm.
than the other place was. I mean, a little bit.
When you're converting it to Canadian pesos,
Mhm.
it's very
Yeah.
expensive.
Yeah.
For 3 nights, it was like $1,200 for me.
Yeah.
So
I just remembered, what was that board I ordered? That 486 type build. It was like an FPGA thing.
Who can say?
I
And
don't know. It was
I
supposed
got
to
some
be
other
December.
sundry stuff, but none of it's
All right.
sitting here. So
cool. Well, that's exciting.
Uh,
And I guess so. The
Oh.
next person is Ron. Ron, what do you
Ah.
have too?
Ah.
They're big now.
All right. I made a little video about this like yesterday and posted it, and then realized my video card was holding me back, and so I have now updated some things. But give me 1 second. Let me get my cameras going here.
Thomas, we don't talk about the Lobster War. It's like Fight Club. So just
Hold on 1 second. Let me see.
are the lobsters fighting, or is it people fighting over lobsters?
we
Yeah,
don't
no.
talk about it. We don't talk about it.
All right.
Okay,
well,
Lagenstinos. Is it Lagenstinos that are fighting? Or-
is this no? Is this? Yes, I did
There you
it!
go.
Yay! All right.
Thing.
Yeah, so this is my this was my project for the break. And the story on this is a viewer reached out to me quite a long time ago and said, "Hey, I've got a Mac portable. Do you have one?" And I said, "No, I don't." I said, "I'd really love one though." I said, "But I've bought probably 6 or 7 PowerBook 100s over the years, trying to get one that works. I just can't. I can't get the right combination of whatever. They all have some kind of problem that is a non-starter in some different way across all this hardware." So anyway, I said, "Sure, if you want to send it to me." I said, "What type of condition it's in?" He's like, "No, it doesn't work at all." And I'm like, "Okay, well, that's fair enough, because that's my speed on these projects." So he went ahead and sent it, and it is sat in my office. Yes, that's my DNA. It's 25 megabytes. But I mean, it's sat in my office at work for several years, and I've never had time to do anything with it or whatever, because I've talked to, because a couple of years ago, Steve was working on one for Luke Miani or something, was trying to fix his.
Yep.
His had hybrid module issues. The hybrid module is a little PCB that sits in the corner of the board that does all the power management for the machine. So it is like a little world. It's like a world inside a world with that thing. And so if that's bad, then you're going to have it's not going to reliably stay up. And they all have cap problems. They all have display problems. They all have power supply issues, things like that. Well, what happened was about a month ago, Tech Night Mike, he posted a little thing and he goes, "Hey, I'm starting to really kind of work on these." And he popped open a portable power supply and realized that, yeah, there's a lot of issues in there. So he reverse engineered the little daughter card inside the power supply and is now kind of redoing power supplies and stuff for people. And I was like, oh, that's really, really great. And so I said, hey, what do you think? Do you think you want to maybe take a look at this? And if you can get it up and running, and he was like, yeah, I'll take a look. So now I have, and he was able to go through, and I had to buy a couple of things from Androta, where it's because they make a modern hybrid module replacement. And so bought one of those, and the Macintosh Portable also uses a 68 or like some kind of smaller, strange SCSI cable and SCSI connection, because the drives that they were using in there, they're like Connor drives or something that actually have power and everything, and it all goes through the cable instead of like having a Molex connection. And there were kits and stuff to adapt those where you could use standard desktop drives, but we're using Blue SCSIs these days. So Androta, who's also part of the Blue SCSI team, he's got a cute little adapter, bought one of those. So picked up a couple of things and some other parts that Mike needed, and boom, now I got this. So, and it works, it boots. I was able to play some games and stuff on it. They're nice. My display has some issues. It's not perfect. It's not the backlit model, so you do need to be in like full sunlight or have a light directly over the machine as you're using it to be able to see, but it works pretty good. So very happy. So that is just a get. Another get that I got that I'll open now and hopefully not embarrass him too much is I also got a package from Joe.
Ooh.
And I'm going to do my best to not dox anybody. But it had like some very nice things inside. It had it has, much like Eric's, it's got a cool Happy Holiday tree printed very nice. Oops, sorry. Yep, there we go. And it also included this wonderful uplifting thing. It says, "Thank you for being such a great vendor, business partner, and friend."
Aww.
And now I have Joe's signature.
Perfect. So what checks can we sign?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking. So, but what I've got in here is very much what Eric's got in his box. So now I have because Joe bought like a large format, really nice printer that absolutely, like, this is beauteous. This is really cool. And so, yeah. But yeah, cool. So it's all one piece. Like the one that Gutbomb printed for me, the original one, it's the quadrants. Yeah. But yeah, this is like a single piece. So this is super cool.
It looks like something that came off Apple's assembly line.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
But mine's personalized.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yours is like something from the Mint. It's defective, so it's worth more.
Well, it's like one of those buffalo that only has 3 legs. It's still preferred. But thank you, Joe. That's way cool. And I wanted to show off. There's a couple things. Speaking of Joe, there's a couple things that are going to start showing up in Joe's store this year.
Ooh.
Some things that I have made. Probably the one of the things I'm very proud of and very happy about is a power supply replacement for the Macintosh SE.
Ooh.
And not just a power supply replacement, but also a battery replacement. So this cute little board, you can actually just take coin-size battery, you pop it in there.
Nice.
You've got battery replacement. It still has a little on-off switch down there at the bottom, so that way that you can, if you're going to put your machine in storage, you can just flip the switch off. But yeah, this is it's really neat. I'm working with Gutbomb. We're going to have a nice 3D printed case that'll go with this. And basically it's got 2 options. If you want to keep the little knurlings and stuff off of your original power supply, you can unsolder them and then go through and just solder them yourself into those holes, which may need to be resized on the production model. But the other option is that you can actually just clip your cables off at the power supply, strip them back a little bit, and there's a very convenient little screw terminal. So no soldering required. You can actually just clip, and just make sure you route it correctly. There'll be a cute little picture that you can go, okay, this is this, and this is this, and this is this, and away you go. But yeah, replacement power supply for the LC, the LC2, the LC3 Quadra 605, LC475, all those machines, and 4 trillion Performa models. So there's that. Also, if you're familiar with the, as soon as I can pull it back off the pile here, like Eric was showing off, if you're familiar with the Mac PicoVid, which is a modern scaler for your 128, your 512, your Plus, your SE, your SE30, your Classic, and Classic 2. Basically, you can replace your CRT with one of these. You can actually use this, and this is kind of the heart of those case projects, but you can use it in your original case if you want to. I'm not your dad. You do whatever you want to do. But as of right now, the baseboard just works with the SE, but now there are adapters. There's an adapter for the Plus.
Nice.
And there's now an adapter for the 128 and 512.
Nice.
There's now an adapter for the Classic 2. Cool. So, yep. So all the bases are covered now. If you've been holding off, you wanted to do one of these projects, there's never been a better time. Gutbomb is working on cases and things like that for these other models too. So it'll be a lot of fun. And
I think Gutbomb hits it on the head there. This is fantastic too for test benching.
Yeah,
Yes.
I've started to see people like John, like Big Bag Biologist, on his channel. He started using it for test bench on those things. But another option for people that are doing test bench things. Wait, look, it's a Macintosh SE motherboard.
Ooh.
I wonder what you could plug into this that might be fun. Oh, look, it's the new SE Topper. That I'm doing it sideways. It's hard. Oh wait, probably I should pull the cable.
Well, it's a topper, so you should be doing it from the top, right?
Yes, I'm doing it from the side, which is always a problem. But
yeah,
the new SE Topper.
Ooh.
This is a board that basically lets you integrates the Mac PicoVid, and also you can plug in a Pico ATX power supply. This one here is for the SE. You can use it with the SE30, but I will tell you that it will only work if you do not use your last 4 RAM slots. Hold on, I have to look at this. I can't look at it sideways and do it properly. Hold on. All right, there we go.
I feel like Bill Gates at the Windows 98.
Well, that's why it's a beta. But no, it's just a board. It sits right there on top of your SE motherboard, and has the Mac PicoVid integrated. But what's this? There is a second interface down here, or connector rather, right below where the extension plugs in, where you can also plug in an RGB to HDMI. So if you are someone who is like, well, I don't really have a VGA display, a VGA compatible display on my workbench, there's options. You can just plug that in. It's all wired up. If you just have I have it right here. There's your RGB to HDMI.
Now, Ron, I'm correct
Right in the
in
board.
saying this. You can use all 3 of these at the same time, right?
Yeah. If you were a crazy person,
Yeah.
you could theoretically drive your internal CRT and drive a HDMI display and a VGA display. So for somebody that's like a streamer, or somebody that wants to use the stuff on real hard, or play games or something on real hardware, stream it on Twitch, whatever, you can absolutely have a HDMI output that goes to whatever your scaler solution is, or not scaler rather, but your video ingester. And then you can use like a older VGA display or something like that to actually be your video, so you can watch it without having to see it through the stream.
Right.
So no lag.
Right.
But anyway, you might be wondering, hey, why is it shaped like this? Why is there this big cutout here? Couldn't you have moved things around and done things
Hey,
differently?
Ron, why is there such a big cutout?
Because if you want to use the Mac Effects accelerator for the Macintosh SE.
Oh, right.
Da-da-da. It's designed where it fits right into that space. So
Cool.
yeah, so it'll fit right there. You can use the accelerator, have modern video output solutions,
Question.
whether you want VGA or HDMI.
Does the accelerator work inside the case that Gutbaum designed?
Yeah.
Oh, it does.
would.
Okay, so
Yeah. If you
cool.
yeah, it's short enough that it'll work. So but yeah. Anyway, it's just something kind of fun. I've been working on a bunch of stuff, and I'm glad that it's all kind of finally coming together.
Awesome. Well,
Thanks.
that's fantastic. As for myself, I don't really have a lot in the way of new tech, so I don't have much to show.
don't have to
I
be big
did
anymore.
get a copy of Print Shop Deluxe. Oh, you're still baked, yes, sir. Okay. I did get a copy of Print Shop Deluxe recently, which of course is the pinnacle of 90s banner and greeting card manufacturing.
Yes.
But besides that, I haven't really gotten a whole lot.
You got a haircut?
I did get a haircut, and I got a real job too.
Awesome.
My sister-in-law actually gave me the haircut. She was fantastic. It was free.
I forgot about that song until just now.
Haircut and a real job.
Yeah.
I apologize for making that back into your lexicon.
No, it's okay.
Anyway, the cool like retro thing I got for Christmas, I only really got one. Was my wife Angela bought me a brochure that would have been given out at the dealership in 1972 for Volkswagen that shows off all of the Volkswagen bus like editions and the colors they came in and the added like accessories you could order for it. So she got me that because that matches the bus that we currently have in our garage. That was really the only retro thing I got for Christmas. And I got an awesome t-shirt like these. Check out my Hooters. Do you like my Hooters?
I love it.
All right. 2 Hooters. But yeah, besides that, I didn't really get much in the way of retro tech. I did get to spread some retro tech cheer though this past Christmas break. And thanks to our friend Frank, Frodo Jedi. A friend of mine was looking for an Apple IIc, or just an Apple II in general. It happened to be an Apple IIc in this case, for her husband for Christmas. Actually, it might have been his birthday, which was just before Christmas. Anyway, Frank was very nice enough to actually send me not one, but through the magic of television, 2 Apple IIcs.
Wonderful.
So this one's mine, and the fellow who got it got the other one is very excited. He actually is going to get it tomorrow. I'm delivering it tomorrow to them. So it's a bit of
I
a
still
late-
have one here for Eric to send out too.
well, there you go. See, Frank is the giver of Apple IIcs apparently. So yeah, they were very excited, and it was kind of nice to meet a fellow retro enthusiast.
Yeah.
I've talked to him previously. He's been to a couple of our events, so I know he's very much been looking to try to acquire locally an Apple II of some sort, but they come up very rarely, and the last 2 I've bought, so it's been kind of hard. Did it come with a ShamWow? But wait, there's more. Yes, it actually did come with a fantastic hat.
That looks
Very
nice and
nice.
warm.
Yeah, it's quite warm.
Shitter's full.
Shitter's
Yeah.
full. Yeah, this is my Uncle Ernie. What's his name? Uncle
It's,
Uncle Eddie.
Cousin Eddie.
Cousin
Eddie.
Eddie.
Sorry, Cousin Eddie. Yeah.
Cousin Eddie.
Shitter's
Yeah.
full. Yeah.
Shitter's full.
But yeah, so it was very nice to be able to spread some Christmas retro cheer. Yeah, and so that's all I really have to report on for this side of the farm. Frank, I believe you had brought up a discussion topic for sort of this week in retro, or of a similar ilk. Yeah, what is it?
Yeah.
That,
I saw a neat article where they had it was a post that somebody put on Twitter or something a couple years back, where there's a pizza shop in Indiana that was using, or a bakery, I think it was, a pizza shop or a bakery that was using a C64 as their POS system.
Yeah, that's funny.
Which I'm sure there are a lot of places that still use whatever worked at the time. You know,
yeah,
as long
for
as
sure.
it works, who cares what it is? Why put money
Right.
into something if you don't need to?
Great.
Yeah,
I
I think
thought
you
that
still
was
find stuff like that everywhere. I think that's actually a pretty common. A lot of small mom and pop shops invested heavily in something in the 80s, and basically they made sure they got their money out of it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, exactly.
Right.
I've seen HVAC systems run on 286s. You know, it's been sitting there collecting dust for 30 years.
Yep, there you go. Small donut shop. That's what it was.
Yeah. Commodore C4 is cash register, so I hate this.
Joe interviewed a guy using an Apple IIe as an inventory and cataloging system for a recording studio.
Okay, cool.
That's really cool.
I think, and we talked about this before the stream too, Ron. The 8-bit guy had found a bunch of, were they VIC-20s that were
they were
using some sort of
VIC-20s.
like radio station system?
Yeah, I think that they were used for queuing up audio and stuff like that at the station. Or yeah.
Okay, cool. So I mean, the stuff's out there, and let's be honest, for the most part, I mean, it's you know, the VIC-20 or the Commodore C4 is pretty solid state. Like, there's not a lot to go wrong there, other than the memory chips that we know. But
Yeah.
you know, if it's just sitting there running the same thing like day in, day out, it's probably going to be fairly stable, we'll say. And most basic inventory or basic cash register programs are pretty simple. Like, there's not a lot going on there. You know, so it's quite possible that they wouldn't feel the need to upgrade.
No.
Updating their tax tables is probably the most complicated thing.
Right.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. I actually have a
Point
friend
of sale
that,
stuff in the past.
Yeah.
I have a friend who's one of those
Getting way
people
too
who
warm.
thinks everybody is out to get him, and he had
They are, Ron.
some
They are.
software at his business that was that they were like, oh, you've got to pay like a yearly renewal or something like that, and that was part of it, is that it updated tax tables.
Yes.
And so he did not update tax tables for quite a long time, and it caught up with him. So
yeah.
I mean, I know people that do that when it comes, like, here in Canada, we have Simply Accounting, which is Sage, which down your way I think is called Peachtree. Or it might be called Sage now. They may have merged the names after. But yeah, the same idea is that you don't get the tax. Especially you don't get like the payroll tax updates unless you pay for the more expensive yearly updates. So, you know, I remember up until a couple of years ago, I was helping a client who was still running Simply Accounting 2005, and they would manually enter the tax tables. They would go on, because here in Canada you can go to the CRA's website and you can punch in the information, and they will give you the tax deductions based on the information you punch in. So they would manually do that because they didn't want to pay the $3 to $4 to $5 to $6 to $1,000 that it was a year to get the updated tax tables and the updated software.
It's super weird how much money people will spend to save money. To quote, save money.
I always find it funny. It's like, so you're going to go and do like 10 hours of extra manual entry, or for $300.
I'll give you the excuse that the accountant gave me when I asked for a capital expenditure of $500 for some software. This was a long time ago. And he's like, we're already paying for you. It takes you an extra 6 months to write it. That doesn't make any difference to me.
You're already in the bottom line. So
spent 6 months writing a user interface library instead of paying $500 for one.
Well, I've already budgeted for your salary.
Exactly. You're a known expense.
Yeah.
And he didn't care when I released the software. It didn't affect him.
Right.
And to some extent I get that, but at the same time too, it's like, I would rather my employees work on important things than build a tool that already exists.
Right.
Yeah. Right? I hear you.
So, you know, sort of going back to some of the stuff that we got, I'm in the process of revamping my home network. I recently purchased a Ubiquiti Dream Machine, which is an all-in-one router, but above being a router, it also does security to protect security from Ubiquiti. It also does the door access for key cards, as well as VPN and some other fun stuff that is more than just normal router. So I briefly purchased one of those. I've upgraded the internet at the house. We're getting 3 gig installed on Monday. One of the cool things is I've actually ordered, or I have to order because I have to buy them. You have to do a group buy on them from China. There are these SFPs. So for people who don't know networking, SFPs are these modules that you plug into a standard SFP port on a switch or a router that usually takes like optical in, so it takes like a fiber in, or it might take an RJ45 in, or it could take a combination of different things. Anyway, I bought a special SFP, or I am buying a special SFP that actually runs an entire Linux distribution on the SFP, and its whole sole purpose is to mimic your router from your ISP, so it can spoof your router's information, so the ISP thinks it's running, that you have this piece of crap Action Tech whole home 3000 router from Bell in Canada. But in fact, you're not running it at all. You're just spoofing its information. But it uses like, funny enough, it uses, for anybody who remembers OpenWRT, the Open Router firmware. That's what actually runs on this tiny thing. It's cool. It's like the size of a stick of gum, and it just plugs in, and it works apparently quite well. And somebody actually has firmware already developed to mimic the Bell Canada network, so it's able to connect. And because right now the fiber here in Canada, you can mimic up to a gig, and it doesn't require any special hardware. But if you want to get over that 1 gig internet speed, you have to have one of these devices to mimic the modem, which does some fancy work to get the 3 gig. Anyway, I thought it was pretty neat. It's not TP-Link, no. It's a company that is based out of the United States that just gets them manufactured in China, much like ourselves. I guess it's cheaper to get the things manufactured in China. But I thought it was pretty cool. I'm excited. I'm probably going to do a little video about it because there's not a whole lot on the internet about them right at this moment. So I thought it'd be kind of cool to do a video on it. But besides that, I've also purchased a couple of new cameras for the house, as well as a doorbell unit, because Ubiquiti has a doorbell. And the bigger news is that I've also replaced, or I'm currently in the process, it's currently transferring data, my Unraid server here at the house. So I went from a 17 terabyte Unraid server to a 36 terabyte Unraid server.
Nice. With
the ability to expand it. Once the old server is decommissioned, I'll be able to take some of the drives out of that and add I'll probably have about 40 terabytes, 45 terabytes by the time everything's said and done from the old server to the new. Which I'm very excited about. But the more exciting part is that it's going to have 10 gig Ethernet. So the ability to transfer data to it is going to be fantastic. And I recently picked up a 10 gig backbone switch from a client who was retiring their old one. So of course I snagged the old one for e-waste, but I'm going to use it in my house. And yeah, it's been, I'm very excited to get that all 10 based. Yeah, it's 10 based. It's 5. It is,
token ring 4 megabit. It's fine.
Yeah. It's actually Vampire clamps. I'm using the old school ThickNet. It's going to be fantastic.
Wonderful.
But
Don't
no,
lose the token from the ring.
Right. I always thought it was Gandalf just smoking that beautiful Hobbit weed.
That's right.
Oh, the finest South Farthing leaf.
Yes.
Exactly, the finest South Farthing. Actually, I currently have it queued up on the TV. We spent the whole day watching Lord of the Rings. So I'm on the third. I'm on the third movie right now.
Hey, speaking of which, has anybody been to the movie theater to see that new one?
No, I haven't.
I'm thinking about taking my son tomorrow to go see it.
Oh,
It's
cool.
It's like an anime kind of. It's the War of the Rohirrim.
Yeah, but it's voiced by the actors. Like it's what's his name? Sir Ian McKellen is in it. The character guy who plays Aragorn, I can never remember his name.
Yeah, Viggo Mortensen.
Viggo Mortensen, thank you, is in it. And I think Gimli's in it. I think
that's cool.
What's his name?
John Rhys Davies.
Thank you. Canadian from out west. Fantastic actor. But yeah, that's very, very exciting. I'm excited to see it, but I probably won't see it in theaters. I don't know about you guys, but when was the last time you saw a movie in theaters?
Very long time ago.
Actually, a couple weeks ago, I went and saw Interstellar 5555 for the first time.
Okay.
My favorite Martian.
What did you? Oh gosh, that's been a few years. What did you think, Eric?
It was very good. I've never seen a Daft Punk video before.
Oh wow, yeah.
And this was their music with animation behind it. The last thing I ever saw that was similar to it would have been heavy metal back in the 80s.
Yeah. Love heavy metal.
Yeah. So that was entertaining. And then they had 8 or 9 music videos after it.
Yeah, it
Okay.
was like basically like a whole collection of
Yeah.
everything that they've done. Yeah.
And I've never seen their music videos.
Oh wow. Yeah.
I've never. I
Um,
honestly could say I just Googled what it was. I'm like, oh, I'd actually go see that. That seems pretty
yeah,
neat.
it was
Mhm.
it was at the local theater.
But it was 2003 it came out, so it's been
Well,
around
they
for a while.
re-released it for one day.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Cool.
So
2017. That's when I was in the movie theater last. We saw
Oh,
the
wow.
newer Beauty and the Beast.
Mhm.
I want to say
Came
it
out. It
was
was 2017.
2019, maybe 2020. It was probably the Christmas before COVID, because we usually go to a movie at Christmas. Myself
Yep.
and Angie.
that was basically. I think I saw Rogue One in the theater. Was the last
Beauty and the
movie I
Beast.
Oh
saw.
wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
I took my son to see oh god, what was that?
It's that
Point
Hawk
Break.
and Chick,
Point
Hawk and
Break.
Chick movie.
Okay, Point Break. Yeah,
Yeah.
back in
So-
1993.
No,
Or-
Rift Tracks. Rift Track made fun of it this a couple months ago. And
Okay.
so, yep, took him to the theater to see that.
Cool.
Cool.
It's interesting. You guys get so many different things than we do. Like here, it's mostly mainstream. Like, and I understand it because it's a big theater here in a very small market that needs to basically just show all the mainstream stuff, because otherwise
Yeah.
Yeah.
the art or the bespoke stuff is just going to be the death knell for them. They won't make any money off it. Because I got to be honest, I remember going into, I think it was 2019, the Christmas of 2019, 2020. There might have been like 10 people in the theater. Like the theater, COVID, people think COVID killed the theater, but I think the theater was dying long
It
before
was on
COVID
its
came
way.
along.
It was already done. Yeah.
Right?
It's
It didn't help any. That's
home
for sure.
video, and it's like, and they tried a lot of stuff to try to save it.
Yeah.
With like, oh, it's 3D. We've got 3D shit, and it's like, I don't really.
Or discounts on food prices. Instead of $12 for a box of popcorn, it
Yeah.
was $9.95.
Here we call it Poverty Night. Is always Tuesday, and the
Yeah.
movie tickets are half price, but you're still paying $14 for a bag of popcorn.
Right.
Because that's where they make the money. They don't make any money on
Yep,
the ticket sales.
exactly.
Oh yeah, they make nothing off
They
tickets.
make nothing on the ticket sales. So I always thought they should be doing more things that are outside of the theater, like big movies, right? Do more things that don't require licensing of films. One of the
Yeah.
things I always thought would be fantastic, and I would go to, I don't know about anybody you, an hour long where they show the upcoming next 6 months of trailers for all the movies that are coming out.
Mhm.
I would
I
love
wouldn't.
that.
Nope.
But it doesn't cost
Trailer
anything.
Mania.
It's free.
Yeah.
It's free.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Still
Right, you
wouldn't.
go in, you walk, you sit down, you buy a bag of popcorn, you sit and you watch all the trailers. You go and you get a little
Mhm.
card. You go, okay, well, I'm going to see that and that, or maybe there's an app you can say, okay, I want to, pre-order tickets for that. I don't know. I think there's needs to be some more.
Yeah. Well, that's
Right.
part of the thing that is much like what Eric just went and did, where it's you have
Right.
a one night event, it's a special presentation, tickets are like
Yep.
$25 or something
Right.
like that.
Yeah.
And like so in the US, there's a company called God, I want to say Fathom. And I guess that's what they're called. That will do like every year, like partner theaters. It's basically a satellite uplink, and it'll just be like, oh, we're gonna show like Miyazaki films, like
Right.
for like 1 or 2 a month for like 3 or 4 months, and they'll run
Mhm.
through the whole gambit of Miyazaki movies.
Right.
Yeah.
And they had a special event where, speaking of Miyazaki, they did my favorite Miyazaki movie, which is Lupin the Third,
Right, of course.
Castle of Cagliostro. They had a special night for that, or they'll do riff tracks, or they do like the Met will have a concert series or something.
Yeah.
And they'll do that.
Like
So-
they'll do
Rocky Horror Picture Show.
They'll do
Yeah.
opera here. They'll do like a night at the Ontario
Mhm.
opera. So you'll be able
Yeah.
to come and actually see a live performance of the opera, like it's actually happening live somewhere in Ontario while you're watching it. It's not a recording. And you get you buy opera
Oh,
tickets,
yeah.
and you sit in the front row, and it's quite enjoyable. But I think there needs to be more of that. Like, so for example, I'll give you an example. All the people that want to see Taylor Swift live, but maybe can't because of financial reasons.
Right.
Don't worry, that'll happen.
It'll
Right.
happen. They've done
Yeah.
sporting events that
Mhm.
way.
Yeah. Right.
Well-
Or,
Mhm.
the big Netflix fight that happened.
Mhm.
Netflix could
Pay-per-view
rent a bunch of
kind of thing.
theaters, pay-per-view
Yeah.
stuff, right? Like there should be
Mhm.
some way to, because I don't want to see movie theaters die because there's
Yeah.
an inherent need for them,
I
right?
don't
Like,
think they'll die. They'll just change. It's
Right.
They'll
like
change.
they'll just keep evolving, much like bowling alleys.
right.
You
Yeah.
know, where
Those
it's
add the video lottery machines, and then they're just running themselves on addiction.
Yeah.
So it's be
yeah.
fine. It'll
So
be
it's like when my grandparents, like I remember being a kid and going to bowl with my grandparents, bowled league. Everybody in town bowled league, and it would be like you would have like that's it. It's a bowling alley, and
Yeah.
it's maybe they serve beer, and
Right.
then it's like, and then I remember being a kid, and then like, oh wait, there's a few video games, and now
Right.
there's
Yeah.
some other stuff, and now there's this, and now there's that. So our place in town used to have like it's a nice like I mean it's don't get me wrong, it's got that Brunswick 2000
Sure, of
bowling
course.
stuff
Yeah.
that everybody has,
Yeah. Yeah.
but at least they went through and put in LCDs instead of TVs, and they updated the graphics, and they did some other stuff, and they what used to be just like a room that was like for people to store their bowling stuff there is now like a redemption arcade
Right.
where you can go in there and play games and get tickets, and now there's a party room. So I think it's like they just shift their business to try
Yeah,
to like
and like Joe said,
be more
theaters should
family
have
and-
built-in arcades. Our
Some-
so we actually in our
Yeah.
arcade. So arcade is owned by Cineplex,
Yes.
which
Some theaters are doing that.
yeah,
where
they have a
they're
whole
using
business
space as an
attached to it.
arcade.
They have a whole
Um,
business called the games room, where it's actually an adult arcade. So it's kids
that's
are allowed,
something that-
but there's
Yep.
beer sold and there's food and there's right.
That's
Yeah.
something that's making a comeback too. Arcades died. The mall arcade
Mhm.
Right.
basically died. But
Yeah.
my eldest spends, it's the kind of arcade where you go and for however long you want to be there that day, it's $25 or something.
Right.
You can play as many games
Yeah.
as you want.
Well, it was much like when we went to what was it called, the Galloping Ghost in
Mhm.
Chicago.
Yeah, exactly.
It
Same
was
same kind of
20,
thing.
25 bucks, and you got
just
you
a flat price, and that's
Yeah.
it.
And it was
I
a lot
went
of
to
fun.
speaking of Dave Murray, when I was in Texas recently, I went to Dave Murray's arcade,
Right.
and it was really neat. And it's it would be very easy to just have a room that's got a bunch of restored arcade things in it, and I don't know how that would last. No offense, I'm not sure that is a sustainable model in a world where landlords want $1,800 a month
Right.
for
Yeah.
like a little
Minimum.
tiny thing in a
Yeah.
strip mall. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but what they did is they have a beer bar in the front, which a lot of that's really easy liquor license to get. So you got the beer bar in the front, and you have like in one corner, they had like a stainless steel kitchen set up in a closed, ventilated to the outside area. So they can cook things on site, or people can come in and make things and all that. And then they had a pinball wall. They had all kinds of like arcade machines. And then in the very back, they had
Good night,
two
Rudy.
big tables. Yeah, good night, Rudy. Two big tables that had like consoles. So it was like, okay, Super Nintendo, Genesis, regular Nintendo, PlayStation. I mean, or maybe not PlayStation, but like stuff that would have took a cartridge. So like 8-bit, 16-bit kind of things. No Polybius. But he did have the Petsky Robots,
Yeah.
Petsky Robots cabinet there. But then they had also another little area that was nothing but 8-bit computers. So
That's
there was a Commodore 64 sitting there with like a multi-card or something like that, or there was an Apple IIe. There was a some sort of, I mean, there was a bunch of other, I took pictures of it, so I don't remember what all machines were there, but it was, and there were kids and they were sitting over there and they're just banging away playing old games and stuff. They don't care, they just want to like have that experience. So
Yeah.
I thought that was really neat. So it's value add kind of thing.
100%.
And I think
You have
that's
to
what will keep that stuff
diversify a bit.
going.
And
Yeah.
I think the key is having food there. It's doing events. So like you would have, I would assume Dave, and I don't know, but I'm assuming Dave, like he might have a LAN night where people can bring their computers and play LAN games. I'm sure there's probably a birthday party package where people can rent the place out for
Yeah, they had a
birthdays.
birthday party room
Right.
in the back, and there was a
Right.
kids party going on while I was
Yeah.
there.
Right.
I mean, yeah, I didn't record any video inside the place because again, there was a lot of kids there and a lot of
Fair enough.
families there, and I'm like, Nah, it's like it would have been neat to be able to do all that type of stuff, but it was just like I was like, I'll take some pictures and make sure that crop everybody out and all that type of stuff, and it was a lot of fun.
Cool.
But on the theater thing with food, the Alamo Draft House. If you ever been lucky enough to go to an Alamo Draft House, what an experience! You go in there, big, cushy, like reclinery, motorized recliner chairs and things like that, and they do food service during the movie.
Right.
So they literally a waiter comes out, gets your order, and then like you have a little table that kind of like blip, blip, like pops up in front of you, and you just sit there and you can eat and watch the movie
That's cool.
or watch a show. Yeah, it's really
I
great.
remember once I smuggled in Chinese food to a movie. That
I'm
was
sure
a lot of
no
work.
one else knew. Yeah. No one else knew that.
But that used to be a challenge. I don't know about you guys, but like our movie theater at the time was very much about like you cannot bring foreign food in, and they would like not
Outside
check
food or
you.
foreign food? Like you could bring in
Outside.
McDonald's, but you
Sorry,
couldn't bring in
no.
like pad thai. How does that
No.
work?
No, like outside food, any food that wasn't
Yeah.
bought at the theater.
Yeah.
That's
But I remember being a kid and like we would smuggle liters of cola in our socks. We would slide them down in because it was the 90s and we had baggy jeans, so we would just slide a
those
liter
poor
of cola.
kids, they got Popeye syndrome. Did you see their calves?
Right? Or you would have
with a
bags
big
of candy
straw
in your
going
hoodie.
up here.
Yeah.
No, you take it out in the movie because it was dark. Nobody cared, right? But I can imagine the guy come back after when he cleaned up. Oh, that was Dan kids with their 1 liters.
I know.
Because we'd leave them there, right? Anyway, $15 for a half a garbage bag full of popcorn is too much money.
Yeah. Yep.
Cool.
Rudy mentioned before he left that they still have a drive-in theater.
Yeah, drive-ins. Yeah,
we had one up until about 10 years ago, and it finally closed. But I can remember. I think the last movie I saw at a drive-in theater was Ghostbusters. Honestly, it's quite a while ago.
Oh wow.
So we did a fundraiser when I went to see the Pope in 2005, I think it was. We went and we did a fundraiser for the trip, and we watched Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost. No, not
Crystal
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Because it'd have to be like a challenge, right?
Holy Grail. Thank you.
Yeah.
We watched that. We actually did. We made our own drive-in. So we actually went to the Salvation Army and we said, "Hey, can we borrow your drive-in movie or your drive-in mass?" Because they would have drive-in mass, which we thought was hilarious as Catholics.
Yeah.
They would have drive-in mass. So they use an FM transmitter. So we board their FM transmitter. We went to the local sail manufacturer, and they had an old offcut of a sail from a boat. We hung that off the side of the building. We projected on it from the back of a car that we had a generator running. And it was a lift gate like station wagon. We projected. But we had a grand time. I loved having the drive-in movies. I wish we still had a theater here. We did it in the 80s, but it was shut down.
Yeah.
But I love the idea of a drive-in theater. They're fantastic. Cool. So anybody else have anything else? I mean, we're actually at a half an hour over our usual time frame.
Well, we haven't seen each other for a long time.
Half an hour.
I want to catch up.
14 people pretty
It's the reunion.
connected, I guess. Or at least they're asleep. I don't know. One of the two.
So anybody have plans?
Any
for
last
the
minute
rest of
thoughts?
Plans for
the rest of
New Year?
whatever your holiday is?
My microphone has died. One second, please.
Not really.
No, we hear your
Hang out at
microphone.
home.
We I'm going to Jeremy's Retro Bar on New Year's Eve to drink some stuff, I guess.
Well, he does know how to mix drinks. So
He does. Yeah. He and the Mrs. Retro Bar are definitely what's the fancy word for people that are all good with the mixologist? Is that it?
yeah, I guess.
It'll be good enough. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Sounds like fun.
Yeah, it'll be a good time, I think. What are you doing, Frank, for the holiday?
Just hanging out at home.
Yeah. It's
Which is good
today's the third day of Hanukkah.
Third day.
Third day of Hanukkah. Today's
Oh,
the
it's
second
really
day of
good.
Kwanzaa.
Yes.
And I don't know what day of Festivus it is.
Now I gotta go watch Futurama. See Kwanzaa Bot.
Yeah. Quonset. It's like, who the hell knows?
My wife's birthday is coming up in a couple of days, and I promised to take her antiquing.
Oh,
So,
nice.
She's researching the perfect place for her to go where
I
she can
can't
find
hear you
all
guys.
the hall
I don't know if
china.
you can hear me, but
We can hear
good
you.
night, everybody.
I can hear
Good
you.
night, Ryan. So she's finding the perfect place to go antiquing.
Yes, she is looking for the place with the maximum return on investment, I think.
Sweet.
Yeah. Make a day of it.
Mm-hmm. Very cool.
That would be neat. That's all I got.
All right.
Yeah.
Hold
Sorry.
on, I'm gonna write
Valuable
what?
advertising time going by. Valuable advertising time going by.
Yeah.
Billy Joel. Because who was it that got cut
I
off?
put it in private chat.
I can't remember. Who was it that got cut off? They cut somebody off for talking. Oscars or something like that.
Oh,
So Billy
lots
Joel,
of people. Yeah.
Billy Joel the next year was performing, so he stopped mid-performance and he was like, valuable advertising time going by.
Yeah.
Valuable advertising time going by. And then resumed singing again. Just to prove a point. I can't remember who was got cut off though.
That's funny. All right. We'll wrap it up.
Yep. It's bedtime.
Yep. It was good to see everybody. It was good
Yeah,
to see everybody
absolutely.
at home.
Ryan, can you hear us now?
I can hear you now. Thank
There
you.
you go. Just in
Great.
time to close
Ryan,
it
what are
out.
you doing for New Year's? That's what
Um,
we were saying.
No real plans. We will celebrate. We're the first to celebrate New Year's in North America, so I will let you know if the world ends. You'll have a half hour of notice, I guess,
A heads
before it
up.
happens to you.
Yeah.
That's
So
right.
take that with as you will. But yeah, no real plans. Hang out with the significant others, and yeah, just keep on keeping on, I guess.
Very cool.
What about yourselves? I didn't hear. Anybody else have any major plans? Anybody setting off
Nothing.
fireworks?
I'm gonna go visit
that?
Jeremy at Jeremy's Retro Bar.
Are you? Nice. Say hello from us.
I will.
I love Jeremy and his wife. They're
Yeah,
fantastic.
they're great.
Yeah. Looking forward to seeing them again at VCF Midwest 20 in September. Fingers crossed that it'll happen and we'll be there and your country won't have
Awesome.
turned into some sort of weird dictatorship.
Well, give us.
Oh,
time.
then we'll just hold it
we're-
in Canada.
Yeah.
Fair enough, yes.
Mhm.
Trina will be mad when we all come up there and take over work.
I know.
We're going to
So
do our
right
own
away,
work with
we'll host
blackjack.
it
This
at
was
the
the
Maker
one thing I
Space.
had.
We'll host it
VCF
at a,
Northwest.
There you go, VCF Northwest.
take
Yeah,
over
that'll
the
be-
That's the
Maker
wrong side.
Space.
We need
and-
more
Yeah,
things.
VCF Northwest would be like, that'll be LTT. That'll be
That'll
Linus
be like
and
Alberta.
Buys.
You don't want to be over there
Yeah.
over Alberta.
You want to like VCF Midwest or VCF
VCF
North-
Michigan.
That's
in
right.
Michigan. There you go. The peninsula. Closest you can get to Canada without being in Canada. Cool.
Too funny.
Well, I
Cool.
guess it's about that time. Do we want to
Yep.
just go around, I guess, and shut her down for the night?
Sure.
Sure.
Saskatchewan.
VCF Saskatchewan.
Mhm.
Yeah, nobody can spell Saskatchewan, so
That's true. The domain name is a real bitch. for people
Yeah.
putting in.
it's like nobody's signing up. It's because they can't pay. They can't spell it. Once they type it in 3 or 4 times, and they're like, "Ah, check that. I'll go to VCF East."
Yep.
Cool. Well, yeah, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us this evening. We appreciate having you here. We know you have your choice in Friday evening entertainment. We know it's very difficult to compete with what is it? ABC Must Watch
ABC.
Friday Night.
No, it's
TGIF.
TGIF.
TGIF. Sorry. You know, it's very hard to compete with Tim Allen and the crowd over there at Family Matters. And yeah. Anyway,
Thanks, Deb.
we appreciate you being here. So, as always, have a fantastic week. I believe, like Ron says, be nice. If you can't be
Do your
nice, just do your best. And yeah, keep your stick on the ice. Anybody else have any wisdom that they wish to mention? Eric? Ron,
Take my advice, throw down your pants and slide on
slide
the
on the ice. Fantastic MASH reference.
Yeah.
So we'll leave on that. Thanks, everybody. Have a fantastic evening, and we will see you this time next week. Take care, everybody.
Bye.